You know that person who always has an excuse? I'm not feeling well. I have work. Maybe next time, but next time never comes. And the excuse is always ready before the invitation even arrives. That's not laziness. That's not rudeness. That's a psychology most people completely misunderstand. And today we're breaking down the 6 levels of people who avoid weddings, functions, and family gatherings. Because not everyone who skips the party is the same. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly which level you are. These aren't just introverts. These aren't just shy people. Each level has a completely different psychology behind it, a different origin story, a different inner world. Some of these levels are signs of growth. Some are signs of pain. And one of them is the most misunderstood type of person alive. Let's go. Level 1, the uncomfortable beginner. I want to go. I just hate how it feels. Level 1 is the most common. And honestly, the most honest. These are people who feel deeply uncomfortable at functions. Not because they hate people, not because they're broken, but because social situations genuinely feel like standing under a spotlight with no script. They walk in and immediately scan a room. Who do I know? Where do I stand? What do I do with my hands? Why is everyone else talking so easily? The wedding feels less like a celebration and more like a performance they never rehearsed for. Psychologists call this social discomfort. Not anxiety, not disorder, just a nervous system that hasn't found its rhythm in group settings yet. Level 1, people still go. They push through. They sit in the corner. They check their phone more than they should. But they show up, because deep down they want connection. They just haven't figured out how to access it in loud, crowded rooms. The hallmark of level 1? They always feel better once they're home. And they always tell themselves, next time will be different. It usually isn't. But that hope? That's what keeps them at level 1. Level 2, the silent calculator. I'll go, but I'm already planning my exit. Level 2 has evolved. They don't just feel uncomfortable. They've developed a system. Before every function, they run a mental calculation. Who's going to be there? How long do I have to stay before leaving is acceptable? Which relative is going to ask about my job, my marriage, my weight? Is there parking near the exit so I can leave quickly? They show up. They smile. They eat the food. They answer the questions with rehearsed, vague answers that reveal nothing. Things are good. Yeah, going well, you know how it is. Then exactly 90 minutes in, they develop a headache, or a work emergency, or a sudden need to check on their dog. Level 2 people aren't rude. They're efficient. They've learned that functions are a social transaction. You show up, you fulfill your obligation, you leave before the aunties start asking about children. The psychology here is fascinating. Research shows this is called self-protective social behavior. You participate just enough to maintain relationships without exposing yourself to extended discomfort. Level 2 people are masters of the graceful exit. They've timed it to perfection. And honestly, most of them have zero guilt about it. Level 3, the family political refugee. It's not the event. It's the people at the event. Now we go deeper. Level 3 isn't about social discomfort. Level 3 is about specific people, specific dynamics, specific wounds that get reopened every single time you walk into that room. These are people who would happily attend a function if it weren't for that uncle who always has a comment, that relative who compares you to your cousin, that family member who smiles to your face and says something sharp disguised as a joke. Oh, you've gained some weight, with a laugh. Still not married? With fake concern. Your cousin just bought a house, with a smile that means something else entirely. Level 3 people don't avoid functions. They avoid the emotional labor of managing toxic family dynamics while pretending everything is fine. Psychologists call this emotional self-preservation. It's not antisocial behavior. It's the completely rational response to environments that consistently make you feel less than. The hallmark of level 3? They can describe, in perfect detail, exactly what each relative is going to say before anyone opens their mouth. Because they've heard it all before, every single time, and they've decided their piece is worth more than the performance. This is where avoidance stops being weakness and starts becoming wisdom. Level 4, the quietly detached. I stopped feeling guilty about not going. Level 4 is a significant shift, where level 3 still feels the pull of obligation. Level 4 has processed something. They've had the internal conversation. They've sat with the guilt. And they've come out the other side with something most people never develop: clarity. Level 4 people don't avoid functions out of fear or discomfort or family politics. They avoid them because they've genuinely evaluated what these events give them versus what they cost. And the math doesn't work. 3 hours of small talk. Surface-level conversations about things that don't matter. The energy crash that follows. The 2 days it takes to recover emotionally. For what? A plate of food and photos nobody will look at in 5 years? This isn't cynicism. This is energy accounting. And level 4 people have become very precise about where they spend theirs. Psychologists call this selective engagement. It's associated with high emotional intelligence and strong internal boundaries. These people aren't cold. They're just done pretending that obligation equals love. The hallmark of level 4? They decline invitations without elaborate excuses. Just a calm, simple, I won't be able to make it. No guilt. No explanation. No anxiety the night before about how to word the message. That peace, it took years to build, and they're not giving it up for a wedding buffet. Level 5, the deeply wounded avoider. I want to go, but something inside me won't let me. Now we have to talk about something important, because not everyone who avoids functions is at peace with it. Some people avoid because of something much deeper, something that deserves to be named honestly. Level 5 looks like level 4 from the outside. They don't go. They decline. They seem unbothered. But inside is a different story. These are people whose avoidance comes from a history of being hurt in social settings. Maybe they were humiliated publicly once. Maybe they grew up in a family where gatherings always ended in tension or conflict. Maybe they were always the outsider, even in rooms full of people who share their blood. And now their nervous system has made a decision without consulting them. It has decided that gatherings equal danger, that people equal pain, that showing up equals making yourself a target. This is called trauma-based social withdrawal, and it's different from all the other levels because it doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like a wall you can't get over no matter how much you want to. Level 5 people often feel deep shame about this. They see others go to events easily and wonder what's wrong with them. Why can't I just be normal? Why does something this small feel this impossible? Nothing's wrong with them. Their brain learned a lesson in a painful classroom, and it's protecting them the only way it knows how. If this is you, this isn't a personality trait. This is a wound, and wounds can heal with the right support. This is the one level that deserves more than just understanding. It deserves attention. Level 6, the conscious architect. I don't avoid functions. I've simply outgrown the need for them. And now we arrive at level 6. Level 6 is rare, and it's completely misunderstood by everyone who hasn't reached it. These people don't avoid functions out of fear, not out of family politics, not out of trauma, not even out of energy management. They've done something far more profound. They've rebuilt their entire relationship with belonging. Level 6 people have created lives so rich with genuine connection, deep purpose, and authentic relationships that the traditional function, the wedding they barely know anyone at, the birthday party of a distant cousin, the office gathering of colleagues they don't actually care about, these events simply don't register as necessary. They're not against community. They're community, but on their own terms, in spaces they've chosen, with people who actually know them. Psychologists call this autonomous social fulfillment. The internal compass for connection is so well calibrated that external social obligations feel genuinely unnecessary. Not frightening, not painful, just unnecessary. The hallmark of level 6? They never feel lonely for missing the function, because they're never actually alone in any meaningful way. Their solitude is chosen. Their connections are real. Their life is built intentionally. And here's the most important thing about level 6. They don't judge people who love going to functions. They don't feel superior. They don't need you to validate their choice. They're simply living proof that there are many ways to be human, and none of them require you to perform belonging in spaces that never made you feel like you belonged. So, 6 levels. One question, which one are you? And be honest, because most people who watch this will recognize themselves somewhere in levels 2 through 4. And a few of you just had something click into place at level 5 that you've never been able to name before. Drop your level in the comments, because I want to know. And here's what's interesting. These levels aren't permanent. People move between them, sometimes backwards, sometimes forward. Sometimes you're level 4 at family functions and level 1 at work events. The psychology of avoidance isn't a personality type. It's a response. And responses can change when you understand where they come from. If this video made you feel seen, subscribe. Because every week we break down the psychology most people feel, but nobody ever explains. In the next video, it's going to explain why some people can walk into any room and immediately feel at home, while others never do. No matter how many rooms they walk into. Click it. You'll finally understand the difference.